What's up? This is Dan Main for DanMainBeats.net. Some people know me as Ice Boy. And today I'm going to talk about how to sell beats. Excuse me. To get started, we're going to take a small boy. He's 14 years old and he's never sold a beat before in his life. He's never even made a beat. We're going to take him and we're going to talk from now until the end of this video, and we're going to get him in a position to sell beats. First thing he needs to do is understand that confidence rules the world. A confident swagger, a smile at all times, a great posture, great physiology, a great alpha male walk. He's going to have to get that because he's going to have to know that everything that he can think of, everything that he can imagine is his. He's going to have to know that. If he doesn't know that, or he thinks some other shit, or he thinks that life is full of circumstances and something's going to go wrong if I walk outside or anything like that, he's not going to have the mind frame. So he's going to have to get that mind frame. That's the first thing. You're going to have to know that any woman that he wants is his. If he wants the money, he can go get it. He needs to know how to save and hold on to his money. He needs to know he needs to be fully in control. After this, he's gonna need to practice. I guess you would say he's gonna need to practice on his beats and get in the studio. But when we practice, when we get in the studio and we practice, we don't understand music. You know, we start making music, but we don't understand it. A producer that is on his way would know the exact type of music, the exact type of beats he's making. Now, this little 14-year-old that we about to make him sell a beat, but you have to understand that certain types of music, whether it's Atlanta, whether it's dubstep, whether it's East Coast, Dirty South, Gulf Coast, West Coast, all types of raps have, all types of genres have elements to them. And that's something that you don't get. Most of you, and I'm going to call out a lot of y'all, you're using FL Studio. And FL Studio is a techno program. Techno. With techno-influenced sounds and techno chords and techno pads and everything techno, what do you expect? This 14-year-old is going to have to know this, and he's going to have to know if he wants to get in the league with the big boys and start selling beats, he's going to have to understand musical elements. He's going to have to know and select his instruments wisely. All of this knowledge will give him more confidence that I just said at the first beginning. So we got to understand that too. But you're going to have to understand elements of music. That's important. That's very important. If you just get on a laptop or get on a computer and just start adding instruments, that sounds good, or that sounds good, or that sounds good, or that sounds good, you might have a beat, but it's not gonna have heart to it. It's not gonna have soul. So it's gonna be technically proficient, but it's not gonna be a hit. It's not gonna be anything that you can move with. I'm telling you, trust me, that's just how it is. You're going to have to learn elements. I'll give you a quick example before we move on. If you're making a beat and you go and then you put all your stuff together, two things you probably just did wrong. You probably used a wet instrument. Wet instruments versus dry instruments, it's a big misunderstanding among producers about wet versus dry instruments. Most of you cats use wet instruments. Wet instruments are oval processed instruments used only for techno and electronical sounds. You're going to have to know what you're doing. You're going to have to get an electronica kit and match that stuff all up. A beat is like an outfit. You're going to have to know what you're doing when you select them instruments. That's one. Number two, you didn't come from the riff you was coming that you needed to come from. You wanted a funk riff, you wanted an R&B riff, you wanted a classical riff, but you ended up with a techno riff. And you don't know why you don't like it. You don't know why you don't like your beat. It's because you don't understand the musical element that you were trying to create. How do we solve this? Google is there. Library is there. We got. I would, if I were you, I would go to my music shop, my local music shop, and start talking to people that play the guitar, talking to people, and ask them to play some notes. And man, get the feel for that type of music you're trying to implement into your rap music. See, the thing about rap music is it didn't come from nowhere. Rap music is it has funk in it, R&B, techno. It has some kind of element that's been put into a rap beat. That's what you gotta understand. So you gotta go after that. After the 14-year-old understands this, here's the most important part of it. It's his image. We are not selling beats. First of all, and I know that sounds crazy. How do you sell beats? We're not selling beats. First of all, a beat is not a commodity. It's not. I won't get into that, but a beat is not a commodity. We have to make a beat like it is a commodity, though. We have to consider the beat a commodity. You know what I'm saying? Once we understand this principle, we can treat it like it, and we can increase the urgency of, hey man, buy this beat now. But we'll never say that. What I would do if I was this 14-year-old, I would start working on my image as a man, as a respected figure, as a figure that you can look up to. How do we do that? Help producers. What else could we do besides help producers? If they see you helping producers, they see you a real G or are going to hold your ground, a real man, let's just put real man, let's just not even get into streets, a real man, and they see that you handling business, doing your thing, somebody that you can say, man, I really respect this guy. You will you become a respected figure. But that all comes back from confidence. You're a respected figure now. You understand musical elements, and you walk with a high degree of confidence. The last thing to do is to develop your outlet, whether it's going to be SoundClick or whether it's going to be straight out the house or your studio or any other way that you want to sell beats. Now let's get something straight real quick, because I got a negative comment about somebody. I won't address you or your name, but I want to make sure that no other producer besides you believe this. SoundClick is not one of those type of sites where, oh man, I'm a producer, I'm a broke producer, this is my last resort. It's never been that. A lot of producers, like I got a few producers in the firm that say, man, people don't respect you because you're on SoundClick. Take it from me, somebody that's making money on SoundClick. SoundClick is a portion, a sample of my beats. I'm going to tell you what my customers do normally once they hear me on SoundClick. They develop a business relationship with me, and they can hear some of my beats that I don't put on SoundClick. SoundClick is a promotion, and you need it regardless. All you cats out there that's saying you're going to be, he said, I'm going to be old or something, and I'm going to be still trying to come up off of SoundClick. Hey man, if you feel like that, that really reflects back to you. When I'm gonna give you something, everybody that wants to get on YouTube, I'm gonna give you a little secret. Anytime somebody says something about you, just take your name out of that comment and put them into it. Because let me tell you, if this was true, first of all, they wouldn't be typing the comment, and secondly, they wouldn't be thinking it at all. They wouldn't be worried about it. They'll be on their own stuff. They'll be minding their own business. If I was really broke and hungry and trying to come up on SoundClick, guys wouldn't even comment like that. And that's why I want you to get, like, for successful producers, you need a YouTube. YouTube is a free form of marketing. Remember, I just told you, the 14-year-old needs a way to become a respected producer, respected figure, somebody that everybody can look up to. Bam, you need YouTube. Bam, do not be afraid of the comments. They're stepping stones. SoundClick is not some kind of broke ass producer website. SoundClick is good. It's not the best. It has flaws in it, but I'm telling you now, you need to put some beats up. If you don't want to, that's cool. It's not that you need it. It's just that it's something that you can do, and the benefits outweigh the drawbacks. Excuse me. And the flexibility of a YouTube page, me being able to put this video on my YouTube page, all that is great. All that is great, very great. So I want you to understand that. Understand also when you start selling beats, understand this too, because I just learned this from my marketing course. We live. What's up? Huh? We live in a on demand age, and you'll see the stock market is going down. First of all, we'll get into that before I get off. The stock market is kind of going down. The euro is down, and I know you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but some people do. But I'm saying that to say this: the world is moving from I gotta go to the store and do this. It's moving to I'm gonna get online to see what's available and order it. That's what the world is moving to. It's moving from instead of sitting in my living room watching TV, I'm going to get on Facebook and be entertained by other people's lives. The world is going to from, man, let me sit up all night to 11, 12 o'clock and watch the Heat game or the Lakers game. It's going from that to I get up in the morning, check my phone on the internet, and see the highlights. The world is customers like being in control. That is what the world is going to. Whether you see that or not. Netflix over Blockbuster. Netflix over Comcast, DirecTV, all those things. The reason is people love control. People hate low quality stuff. What is low quality stuff? Interruptions, commercials. I'm referring in a producer sense, I'm referring to people putting tags in their beat. That is low quality stuff. You got a high quality beat with different stuff in it, making it a low quality beat. People like high quality stuff. They don't want any interruptions, and they want it now. They want it. If they can't get it instantly, they're getting away from it. That's why people hate Vivo on YouTube. People would rather upload their own stuff and listen to it whenever they can, because they don't want to see any commercials. I'm saying all that to say this. Understand that you're going to have to mold the way you put those beats out to the fact that people want it now. It's an on-demand society. Technology is on demand. Everything is on demand. Other tips I'm going to give you. You got to wake up earlier than the rest of the producers. You got to get up. Get up early. Real early. Another thing, stay on top of current events. Stay on top of that stuff. Stay on top of everything that's going on around you in your world, because I'm going to give you a quick example. One of the guys that I was selling beats to was in a country, and the country had a disaster, and he stopped buying my beats. So I emailed him, completely ignorant of the disaster, and I was like, "Hey man, what's up? What's up?" I was telling him about some beats, and he wasn't answering. So I finally realized that, hey man, he's been hit by this disaster, but it was so long later, and I had to hit the man up, and I had to hit him up and talk about it. And I mean, if I would have knew that before time, if I had knew that beforehand, I would have saved that customer. You know what I'm saying? I would have knew that. So Get up in the morning and turn on that news. Now you're gonna say, well, me is negative. Me, you're right, but you're going to have negative people around you too. You're gonna have negative customers. You're gonna have negative girlfriends. You're gonna have negative people anyway. So you're gonna have to sift through all the stuff and judge for yourself when you watch the world news. But I was against the world news. Now I'm with it because you gotta know that in order to be a great businessman. You gotta move. You gotta be able to move with the market. So your the way you perceive the world, the way you come at the world with your business isn't distorted or isn't behind. I lost a lot of money by not knowing what went on in that man's country. You feel me? That's why I want y'all to understand it. Um, Communication is great. Remember, I just told you about quality and quality to me. This is my definition of quality, which is a great definition. Product with no extra stuff. Now, I'm not saying that as in don't provide like something free or something else, but I'm talking about in that product package. Nothing else is in it but that product in that product package. If he says he wants a beat, I don't give him a beat and add turntables in it. Just say, oh, he might like this or something like this and give it to him. I can't even get right. When we communicate, whether it's okay, we'll just talk about ourselves. When we communicate with ourselves, what judges whether we make something or not, whether we do something correctly or do it big or not, is the way we communicate with ourselves. If we can't, we know we can do something. We know we can touch the sky. We know we can multiply. We know we can be bigger than anything we ever imagined. We know that. We know we're amazing as people and we can do whatever. We don't want to communicate any other thing except that to ourselves. When we communicate that type of language to ourselves on a consistent basis, we do that to everybody else. We communicate like that. Remember, I just told you about the guy that said something about me, and it was kind of crazy. If you're talking about people, you're talking about yourself. What you don't like about that person can be found in you. You know what I'm saying? Ah, he stink. I can't hang around. You stink. You know what I'm saying? That's how communication is. Communication is important. What does it have to do with selling beats? If you can communicate to yourself, like people ask, how do I sell beats? How do I sell beats? If you communicate to yourself properly, my beats are hot. My beats ain't going nowhere. My beats are on-demand commodity. If you can communicate that to yourself on a consistent basis without any other additives, you'll automatically communicate that message, convey that message to the next person. Communication has more to do than to do with words. Words are 7% of the communication. Communicating that with yourself deals with having a smile, a positive demeanor, positive physical look, shoulders straight, eyes with a slightly, you know what I'm saying, always smiling, never frowning, even when something is messed up. You got the master plan, so your body language is saying what it needs to say more than the words in your head. The words, like I said, the words in your head, you can keep telling yourself you be so high, you be so high. Yeah, you're going somewhere. Yeah, you're gonna make it. In your head, you need to say that, but that's like 7% of the battle. The 93% is how you carry yourself. How good do you feel? Do you feel great? And you feel great by carrying yourself like consistently in a confident manner. And with that, plus telling yourself constantly that you're a great producer, you communicate that with the people. So everything in this video is bam, compacted in how do I sell beats. So a lot of time I was trying to help producers, like calling them on the phone. It didn't work out. Like that really didn't work out because it was just so much to saying stuff and just it just didn't work out because people, I didn't really know how to give someone a marketing plan without knowing that person. Because the marketing plan, forget that big word. The marketing plan is that person. My marketing plan is me and my vision. You know what I'm saying? So all I can give you is tips on confidence and how to get to your own vision. And then from there, you can make your own marketing plan. The producer firm, man, we the producer firm helps me be so smart and be so on demand with information and so good with these videos. If you want to be around a group of producers like this, there is a fee. You're gonna have to discuss that with me. Um, but it'll be the best thing in your life, man. It was one thing that I was gonna come up and talk to the producers about in the producer firm. And before I even talked about it, there's some guys who was already on it. And like when I can be impressed by my own members, I'm like, dang, wow. And then we got this guy, man. He got a video on World Star Hip Hop, man. Damn video was so hot. It was shit rappers say to producers. It's really creative, man. Chick shouted P out, man. It was really good. And we just got a lot of guys, man, that just stay busy. We're so busy that we're barely in the producer firm thing unless we got something real important to say. And that's good because at first I used to think, man, we don't have enough participation. Man, we're not participating every day, man. I used to think bad, but now I think good. I'm like, wow, these guys are living their life, living their dreams. And then when we have something that can help all the producers, we come back and post something. You know what I'm saying? So the way we got it, man, I'm really excited about it. I'm really happy about it. And to know that it's a lifetime thing. It's not something that's going to go away. You know what I'm saying? If I want to know something myself, I can just ask it to the firms like the producer Google. That's what I would call it. Because out of those 30 producers, it's like an IQ of 300,000. If you ask me, this is how it feels being around those guys, just being around those guys in the Facebook group that I got set up. Man, it's wonderful, man. It's something, man. And like I said, one of those guys got their video on World Star Hip Hop. Some guys are selling in there, and I'm not gonna say all the guys are selling in there, but they're on their way to selling. All of them got hot beats. I know at least 20 of them got their own YouTube channels and mentor if they're not mentoring producers, showing how they make beats, just doing something successful. So I know the majority of them are selling beats, and the ones that are not, know they can come to me or any other guys that are selling beats and ask. But like I said, we don't get into personal stuff like finances or whatever in there. We basically provide information. It's just like the Billionaires Club. The Billionaires Club don't meet up to talk about billions. They meet up to talk about golf, or they meet up to talk about women or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really be like, man, I just sold 9 beats. I don't come at people like that. If you ask me, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, sure, I sold 9 beats, but ain't nobody the bragging type. Everybody's humble. And everybody's looking like, when people come at me negative, I'm always looking at an angle to make it positive, to use them as a stepping stone. And that's how we all do. So, you know what I'm saying? If I take a little break from YouTube or whatever and come back and drop a monumental video like this, is because I was waiting on an angle and I finally found that angle. There's nothing that you can say to me that's gonna stop me from creating my wonderful life. And so that's why I want everybody that watches this video to click like. And the ones that don't like the video, I want you to actually click this like. Yes, sir.